Hello everyone, and today is the day. Today, Splitgate 2 officially releases, which means it's time for me to do my full review of the game. And I gotta say, it really is a multiplayer game of the year contender. It's been a long time since I've seen so many people excited to play a game, and I've even read comments from you guys on both YouTube and other platforms saying Splitgate 2 is really fun. The game on the whole has been received really well. From stellar hit registration, fun game modes, old school skill-based matchmaking systems, and developers who have literally done this from college. It's a damn success story for the ages. As I said last video, 1047 Games got $100 million in funding from the original Splitgate success, and they've used that money to make Splitgate 2. The devs have cranked this sequel to 11. That means more content, big team battle modes, and once the game officially launches today, a massive third mode that is rumored to be one of the biggest multiplayer map experiences in gaming history. Today, I want to let the game speak for itself. Of course, I'll give my thoughts, but I'm going to showcase everything Splitgate 2 has to offer. I'm going to break down the mechanics of the game. This includes gunplay, aim magnetism, and ways to optimize your playing experience so you can see exactly how the game functions. I'm also going to showcase the absolutely insane movement tech that you can do on the game. A lot of you are like, damn, Remy, you're an absolute nerd. Teach us how to do this stuff. So I'll happily do that too. The third thing I have to say is that it's been really refreshing to play Splitgate 2. I've genuinely had fun playing this game, and that's what video games are all about, and it's why I'm so strongly recommending this title. With that in mind, this is Splitgate 2, and you're all in for a treat.
Rocket?
So first up today, what is Splitgate 2? Splitgate 2 is a free-to-play arena shooter, multiplayer only, with zero campaign or story. The game features three main classes, each with their own special abilities. The three factions are Eros, Meridian, and Sabask. Eros gives you super speed, Meridian gives you wall hacks temporarily, and Sabask gives you a shield wall to absorb damage. That shield wall allows you to take like 2 sniper bullets before the shield shatters. Each special ability has a cooldown of around 30 seconds. It can be shorter or longer depending on the perks you give each character. Each of the three factions' perks are almost identical. They do have different names, but the perks range from quicker cooldowns, faster reloads, and more ammo. On the whole, each of the three factions are based on your playstyle. If you're past, pick Eros. If you're a tank, pick Sabask. And if you like recon, pick Meridian. Each of the factions have the same style of weapons, so that means each class has an assault rifle, an SMG, a shotgun, and a pistol, but they're modified based on each faction's strength and weaknesses. The way you level each class is simply by playing. Takes about a day to max out each faction's progression system, and the biggest piece of feedback I have for the developers is the game as a whole needs an overarching progression system. It can simply be number go up, but the game needs it. As a quick side note, I saw ranked playlists will be on the way in case you love competitive. Once you load the game, you'll be greeted with a variety of playlists. The ones to the far right will be rotational playlists, so one was Team SWAT, another one was Team Snipers, there's Big Team Battle, and more. Variety is the spice of life, and I'm glad the developers are rotating new content in every week. I was also a big fan of the content rollout itself. So when a brand new map came out, and it's a really good map, when it got introduced this week, that map came up 24/7 in the new playlist. And then, after a day, all the other maps were integrated back into the playlist. This means players could experience the new content, and then, so they didn't get sick of it, had the variety added back in. You love to see it. As the game is free to play, there's of course a battle pass and microtransactions. I'm a free-to-play player, and I just get on and play the game, but if you do want to support the developers, you can get the battle pass for like $5. In saying that, there is a free battle pass if you don't want to pay. This brings us to gameplay, what is making this game so popular, and I read all of the comments you guys had in my last Splitgate 2 video, so I've incorporated those questions into this video to give you guys more information. I'm going to cover portals, movement, gunplay, and hit registration, all of the critical pieces of information you need to know about this game. First up, we have portals, the integral mechanic of the game and the big gimmick, if you want to call it that, of the Splitgate franchise. The first game was heavy on portal usage, and it felt one-dimensional. The way the developers have built on this for the second game is to build other movement-based options into the game, so portal portaling isn't your only option. Now, if you're a Portal sweatlord, yeah, you can still use it like the first game. I think it's very jarring to watch gameplay like this, but I can guarantee you 99.9% of players on the game do not do this. More realistic Portal gameplay is what you're watching me do now on screen. It's not super fast, it's more to flank quickly, combine the movement and gunplay. It's a lot of fun. The thing I love most about the portals is you can use it to cover ground very quickly, and if you put a portal on one of the super pads, it'll send you shooting off across the map. I love that. This brings us to movement, arguably the coolest thing about Splitgate 2 for me, and I'll explain exactly how it all works so you guys can try it for yourselves. In the official launch trailer, I said the best movement since Titanfall 2, and I really mean it. The conservation of momentum gives that same hit of dopamine when you're soaring across the map. Of course, and I cannot stress this enough, if you do want to take Splitgate 2 slow, methodical, and not fast paced, you can do that too. I used the Sabrask class, the shield class, and I'll cut to this very quickly. You can basically turtle and be a tank and let the enemies come to you, and it works really well. So yes, I'm going to showcase the movement now because I love it, but it is by no means 100% necessary if you want to be good or have fun on the game. Play it the way you want. So on Splitgate 2, you can chain movement mechanics so you can glide across the entire map. By sliding down slopes, you'll gain speed. You then jump, hover, and instantly slide again, and you'll slowly build more speed. By doing this, it unlocks even more viability for moving quickly. Once you have the base movement mechanics down, so slide down ramps, jump twice to activate your hover, back into sliding, and repeat, you'll find that the faster you go, the more you can maintain that momentum and fully change your direction. Put an example on screen now. The faster you go will actually allow you to maintain your slide even up vertical incline ramps. Then, once you're over the other side, you jump again, activate hover for a moment, then land and slide again. You won't slow down at all, and you can go across the entire map doing this. The best part about all of this is the developers at 1047 Games designed the maps in a way that if you do want a portal as your main movement option, you can do that. If you do want to go fast and slide around the map, you can do that too. And if you really want to go into a high traffic area and play passively, that is also an option. You guys might not know this, but some ex-Halo 5 developers, specifically Blaze, so hello Blaze, he helped work on the Splitgate 2 maps. He did a phenomenal job. In saying that, I really think the game has seen the success it has because the barrier for entry is low, so beginner level players can get into the game quickly, yet the skill ceiling is so high at more advanced levels. Something for everyone, you know? This brings me to gunplay and hit registration. As I said, there's weapons for each playstyle, so shotgun, assault rifle, SMG, etc., and on the map are randomized power weapons that rotate each round. Each pad could have a sniper, a rocket launcher, a baseball bat, which is called the BFB. It's a one-hit melee weapon like an energy sword or a gravity hammer from Halo, and there's even a dual SMG which has really high damage. I would like to see weapons respawn during rounds, as sometimes a round can go for 5 to 6 minutes and no weapon respawns in that time is a bit shit. In saying that, there is a Team Slayer version. It's a rotational playlist where the weapons do respawn. That's inevitably going to go away, so I'd love that added to the default mode. As for hit registration, seriously, it is a 10 out of 10. It is a really rare case where this is actually happening. If you aren't exactly on your opponent, you won't deal damage, but if you do hit the body, it will always, and I mean always, register. Every single bullet lands with absolutely zero blank shots. Quite the networking feat, if I do say myself. The game feels very responsive, and the sensitivity settings allow you to customize your playstyle. For the purpose of this video, all the gameplay you're watching is all performed on default settings. The only change I've made is vibration off, as I don't like having it on, and they're all performed with a default Xbox Series X controller, so no paddles. In this category, in regards to feedback for developers, and it's not even a gun, the melee can be quite janky at times, and in some cases, it might be better to just shoot the enemy instead of even going for a melee. As for the actual gunplay, I really think it's great. The aim assist and the bullet magnetism is balanced in a way that both controller and keyboard and mouse players have viability when playing. That is something quite hard to balance, as both inputs have strengths and weaknesses. I think 1047 has done a wonderful job in making both inputs viable. Speaking of that, the game is available on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and the Epic Game Store. I think the more places the game is available, the better, as this game's biggest challenge will be longevity. I already saw so many negative people saying, haha, dead game in 3 months, haha, and I'm like, Splitgate 2 is a game that's fun, it's enjoyable, it has a small development team that cares, a rarity in game dev nowadays, and will actively respond and communicate with its audience. Why would you purposely hope it fails? With the state of modern gaming and I don't have to describe how bad it is for you all because you've all seen it, we finally get a new game that is just downright fun and people want it to die. I hope it succeeds and I hope it thrives. Even if it isn't the most popular game in the world, I would never wish for something to actively fail. While we're on the topic of that, and the developers did hear my concerns about this, Splitgate 2's main problem is establishing itself as a franchise that has staying power and longevity. Instead of being a game that has a massive spike in popularity and then it can't hold that population and dies off, it's going to need regular content updates, clear communication from the devs, and I think even a roadmap would be beneficial for this existing player base, just so they know what's on the horizon. You want people to invest time and they need reasons to do so. In any case, I hope the game succeeds. On both PlayStation and Xbox, it is the #1 free-to-play game at the moment, so that's fantastic. Splitgate 2 is fun, and one thing I particularly noticed is you can even search with your friends with absolutely zero limitations. Yes, there's skill-based matchmaking on Splitgate, but it's not going to restrict who you converse and who you can play with. And yes, it'll make games feel closer by balancing teams, but it won't actively sabotage each match based on past performances. I despise modern games that actively make me lose just because I've performed well in my last few matches. It feels artificial, and I'm glad Splitgate doesn't do this. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is Splitgate 2. I've really enjoyed my time playing this game. It's free to play, and it's only like 10 gigabytes to download, so definitely give it an install, make up your own mind, and give it a shot. In this modern era, to have a game that's made by a group of friends and is having the success it has is wonderful to see, and I hope their success continues. With that said, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think of Splitgate down in the comments below. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.